All right, now let's get into the uncomfortable question, though. Do you think that Arsenal are doing it again this time around? I mean, every season we have the same question. Are they going to do it again this season? You know, is this pressure?
To bottle it, you mean?
Exactly. Each time we look at previously when 2022, 2023, what happened exactly? You know, they take us there, then
they
next
look
thing.
like they're going to bottle it. And I hope they don't, because I fancied them to win the Premier League.
So did I. Yeah. Look, I'm going to say this. Their latest poor form has led to an exciting end to the EPL season, which is a beautiful thing for the neutral. And that means that they've allowed City back into the context. Man City actually had a very terrible first round. You thought they were out of it this year. They've allowed them back in because of the points they've dropped. This last defeat was
to Bournemouth.
Was quite damaging. And they've not played well even in the games they've won lately, including the one against Sporting Lisbon in this first leg.
They've been in free fall, Mark, from the Carabao final.
Yeah, but I said that they lost to Man City in that final and then lost to Sunderland in the FA Cup.
Southampton in the FA Cup.
Southampton rather, yeah. So and that is a championship side. What has happened with Arsenal, largely when you see it, it's the mental fatigue. From the pressures they put on themselves in chasing on four fronts, have converted into the physical. Remember, the reason they're up on top and the reason they were contending for 4 trophies until last month is because they had the biggest, the deepest squad in the Premiership, and they didn't miss the players who were missing this year, unlike the previous ones, because of how good the replacements were. Saka is out, Madueke plays. Now if Madueke is out, then Young Dorman plays. You know, that kind of thing. If Martinelli is out on the other side, Leandro Trossard will play. Eze can play there, but he can also be a deputy for, or a replacement for Odegaard as a central, as a number 10. So that kind of thing. They've got Victor Gyökeres leading the line, but that line can also be led by Kai Havertz, who's back in form, in fitness rather, or Gabriel Jesus, who has always been in and around the squad, and also at some point was led by a midfielder in Mikel Merino, who has been injured for months, and Arsenal don't even remember he exists. That's how deep they've missed him there, but that's how deep their squad is. So that's why they were the best team in England for long.
So
this is my belief, as I summarize it. This is my belief. There's so many people who would fancy for Arsenal to collapse, because Arsenal they're as loved as they're hated because they make too much noise, but I don't think I think they're just going about hang on, and they could win it by 2 or 3 points at the end. I have a feeling that while everybody else fancies Man City to beat them at the weekend, that might not happen. And if Arsenal manage even a draw in that game, they're champions of England.
But I'm not sure they've seen that story.
I am saying Arsenal will hang on.
I'm not entirely sure right now. I'm firm in my belief that Arsenal are going to win the league, because Arsenal are still playing in Europe in the Champions League. Arsenal don't have the momentum. Arsenal, the tension in the Arsenal team, in the players, even in the bench, the manager, the fans. I can feel it when I'm watching from my living room.
No, I'm not going to. I agree with you because I can see it as well. But
City have the momentum. City are playing 1 game a week. City are as deep right now, by the way, as Arsenal.
Yeah, because they're healthy again. Rodri is back. So
City are scoring lots of goals without Haaland actually playing.
The way he worked in the first round,
and it's scary because if you see, Riley is coming in with the goals.
Ryan Cherki is playing football.
Ryan Cherki is playing the best football. The games at Etihad, Arsenal, even with a stalemate mark, I see Arsenal dropping more points in the EPL.
So might City. There's some banana skins in there in the last few fixtures. West Ham here and Aston Villa there. City will also drop points. Everybody is saying City are going to win every game. They will not. I'm saying they won't.
This is squeaky bum time.
You know what?
Mikel Arteta has gone to earn his wages, and I wouldn't fancy Mikel Arteta in April and May against Pep Guardiola.
Let me say this as a summary.
The team, he understands the rotations. I'm not entirely sure that Arsenal actually.
So in conclusion, the only way Arsenal win the league is if they win the game at the Etihad.
No, I think even with a draw, they win.
Even with a draw,
they win.
No.
Because I think City will drop points as well at some point, like they've done all season. But anyways,
I do not think
the thing is, from here now,
Yes.
there's a bit of an advantage on City because of the things Mark just pointed out. The fatigue, the physical fatigue, the experience, the tactical news of Arteta versus Pep and all. And City, it's in their hands in such a sense that if they win every game between now and the end of the season, they're actually champions again. But I'll say this to the watching world, is that while I've seen, and the two of you are in that category, but there's so many other people out there, Man United fans and,
we are here.
Chelsea and Liverpool fans, without even counting City fans, who want for Arsenal so badly for Arsenal to collapse so they can laugh at them. England, the English Premier League needs Arsenal as champions.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you this, because look at this way. If City in transition season stepped up and won the championship, it would make that what, 6 out of the last 8? In which Liverpool interrupted them last season and in 2020.
It makes the EPL look like League One.
Yeah, I mean, because these are the things that the English people hold against Germany because of the dominance of Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that they hold against France because of PSG. It's the stuff they hold against the La Liga because it's either Madrid or Barcelona, always. So, and now it's happening in England. And Man City, I mean, they can't just wake up out of their slumber, whatever, and win a championship. And that bodes well for English Premier League. It doesn't. Arsenal must be champions. They must. That's how I say. England needs this.
Yeah, but to them, they have to win the game at Etihad.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
We know April's where titles are won, definitely yes. And of course, right now we're looking at the big teams, big pressure, big moments. But as always, reality always brings out the actual thing. But well, let's see who wins it. Yeah, I know these two can have their moment, but we'll see who wins it. Okay. So thank you so much for being with us. Until next time, always on Mark to Mark.